Hello and welcome to our virtual fundraising event. This is a specific event for the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library program. Welcome. My name is Abby Bordner. I'm the Vice President of Development and Fundraising for United Way of Santa Fe County. I've got two exceptional people here with me today to share with you about the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So just a little bit of background, United Way of Santa Fe County focuses all of our resources on programs for early childhood development based on uplifting and supporting the growth and development that happens in the first 5 years for children, and also support and education for their family members so that we can really bolster the family experience in the early years, hoping to improve outcomes for children in our community and also give them as much exposure to positive learning environments as possible before they enter into the public school system at age 5. So the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library is one of those programs. It's probably the program that reaches the most people in our county. We have many children enrolled, and the program was designed by Dolly Parton many years ago, and her intention was to get books in the homes of children under 5. And the evidence shows that even before children can read, access to a rich library of books will help improve their literacy rates as they grow older. So the fun thing is that when children receive a book in the mail once a month, they expand their collection of books, and that is available from 0 to 5 years old. So at the end of the 5 years, a child has 60 books in their collection. And actually in our program, they may even have a little more. I'll have Jessica tell you about that. But I'm going to start with a short segment of a PBS News Hour that was introducing the program back in 2013. And I think it's a great overview of Dolly Parton and her mission for this program. And then we'll tell you about Santa Fe County and how we have implemented this program in our county.
Dolly Parton's longtime passion project, passing on the gift of reading. The News Hour special correspondent for education, John Merrow, has the story.
Most of you are probably familiar with Dolly Parton, but to some, Parton is more than a country music star.
Everywhere I go, the kids call me the book lady.
She wants to read it now.
The book lady? It's not surprising to these children.
I love reading books. Reading is my favorite thing.
My favorite was Tortoise and the Hare.
No, David, and David goes back to school.
Where did the books come from?
Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton sent me the books.
In 1996, Dolly Parton created what she calls the Imagination Library to send free books to homes like this one.
I like this one because it reminds me of my grandma.
If she hadn't had those books, she wouldn't have had anything until she started kindergarten.
Madeline and her great-grandmother, May Lee Barker, live in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Maddie was very quiet when she was little because she was just moved around so much. She would always either have to be with her mother or her father. And I think the books, she carried them with her a lot of times. I mean, that was hers. She had something that she could call hers.
The little girl has a great imagination like me. She thinks of a monster. It's a green monster right here. And the granny tells her not to worry.
We send these books to them in their little name, with their name on it. They look forward to going to the mailbox. This is theirs. This is mine. So I am going to either learn to read it or I'm going to make somebody teach me how to read it.
It all starts here at birth. At this hospital in her hometown of Sevier County, Tennessee, every newborn gets a free book.
I've been here 3.5 years at LeConte in the labor and delivery, and I have given probably 500 books to new moms.
Families in Sevier County can also sign up at the library. Each child receives 60 free books, one every month until age 5.
It really started out as a very personal thing for me, and it was originally just meant for the folks in my home county because of my dad. There were not books in our house growing up, and my dad could not read nor write. It was a very crippling thing for him. My daddy was such a brilliant man.
What started in one rural Tennessee county 17 years ago has spread to 1,400 communities across the United States, England, and Canada. Each affiliate raises money to pay for books and mailing, $2 each. The Imagination Library takes care of the rest, right here where it all began.
Our belief was that oftentimes the most powerful things are the most simple things.
David Dotson is president of the Dollywood Foundation. This international organization, with a $20 million budget, produces and distributes almost 700,000 books a month.
I think what we are about is the emotional tie to books, that if children love something, they will continue to do it.
Puff, puff, chug, chug with the little blue engine.
Both of the girls are excellent readers, just ahead of where they should be in reading. Pick which one you want to read. I think it makes a big difference when you have this huge library of books. There's so much to choose from. I don't know that we would be able to afford to buy all of those books for our children. And it's nice to know that we don't have to make that decision. We don't have to choose between a book and something else for the kids. That just comes to our mailbox.
Then you look to the right and then to the left.
The value of reading to children is well documented. Kids who have books in their homes and are read to regularly are more likely to succeed in school.
We can definitely always tell if a child's been read to at home. Their vocabularies are so much larger.
Rebecca Smock teaches pre-K at Pigeon Forge Elementary School.
Tools, but what do you use with a hammer?
To nail.
Nails, that's right. I think if you see that literacy is a big deal at their house, then they're going to they just kind of embrace that more when they come to school. They're ready for it. Where's he sleeping?
In the flower.
In the flower.
Back through the years, I go wandering once again. The older I get, the more appreciative I seem to be of the Book Lady title. It makes me feel more like a legitimate person, not just a singer or an entertainer, but it makes me feel like I've done something good with my life and with my success.
Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has now given children almost 50 million free books.
One is only poor, only if they choose.
So it's really exciting to see how this program has spread. And we've had Dolly Parton Imagination Library in Santa Fe County for many years. And currently we are sending out books every month to children in our county. And next I want to introduce you to Jessica Terrazas, who is the manager of our Dolly Parton's Imagination Library program here in Santa Fe County. And I would love for her to tell us a little bit about yourself, Jessica, and your work with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library program.
Thank you, Abby. My name is Jessica, and I am the Agua Fria Office Manager at United Way. And now in September will mark 3 years since I began my work with United Way. I am a mother of 3, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. And I have participated in many United Way programs, including the Dolly Parton Imagination Library program. This has been such a blessing to be able to be the manager and be part of this awesome program. And that was actually the reason why I got encouraged and motivated to come and work for United Way, for the big benefits from this program and many others, including in United Way.
That's great, Jessica. I think one thing that's really unique about our program in Santa Fe County is that what we found when we started enrolling families is that there are many, many bilingual families in our community, as well as Spanish being the primary language in the home. Can you tell us how United Way responded to that need for families in our community?
Yes, of course. So as you mentioned, Abby, there is a high need for Spanish-speaking families to be served aside from this wonderful program. So United Way kind of took the extra mile and really is always looking for funding to serve the high need in our community. And we do that by purchasing our books within ourselves, because the Dolly Parton Imagination Library sends about 2 bilingual books only. So there was a lack and a gap in between both of that need. So United Way decided that, in order to serve what the needs of our community, they needed to find that funding to get those high quality books, but in their maternal language as well.
And how often do families then receive a Spanish book?
So right now, what we're trying to do is about 1 book every quarter. Since, United Way has to find the funding, and it is expensive to get books. Right now, we're serving about 500 families, 500 plus families that are Spanish speaking as well. So right now, we're sending a book about every 3 months.
Great. So in addition to the Dolly Parton program where they receive 1 book a month in English, we're also sending out books in Spanish quarterly, more or less. And that is private fundraising that we do. We have generous donors that love to support our bilingual culture here. And so we have 500 books mailed quarterly in Spanish, and that is a private cost to our program. So I want to just mention to the donors who are watching that Dolly Parton program costs us about $50 per family per year, which is amazingly low cost for everyone to receive a book every month. And the books are selected by a panel of literacy experts. So the books are selected at the Dolly Parton warehouse and then mailed from there. And then we have a special volunteer staff along with Jessica who do the quarterly mailing in Spanish. So this program costs us about $110,000 a year. Again, I said $50 per child, and we are encouraging our donors to consider sponsoring 1 or more children per year with $50 donation to support this program and the importance of early literacy. So Jessica, can you tell us how many families are currently enrolled and how would a family get involved if they're interested in enrolling?
Of course. So right now we are currently serving 2,200 kids per month. And in order to get enrolled, there's actually several ways to do that. You can go ahead and enroll through your pediatrician. You can go ahead and enroll through our website directly. Or sometimes if your child is in a pre-K, sometimes they can offer it as well. But the easiest way is actually to go directly to our website, especially with this current situation that we're living in. If you visit our website, under the Our Programs tab, you'll actually find a little mark that says Dolly Parton Imagination Library. If you click on there, you have the option to fill out the registration form either in English or Spanish, and we'll go ahead and receive that registration immediately and go ahead and place you on our wait list.
Great. So there is currently a wait list and, for children waiting to get the books.
Yes, there is.
Okay. And children then graduate from that program on their 5th birthday after they've received their 60th book for the library. And you can have multiple children in the same family enrolled. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. And the way the Dolly Parton Imagination Library categorizes everything is by age group. So if you have, per se, twins, they would be receiving the same book. I know some families do prefer to just have 1 book included with both of the child's name. So that's an option as well if you do have twins. But if you have more than 1 child under the age of 5 within the household, you are able to receive a book for each child.
And so the books then sequence as the child grows older based on their birth date, and you'll start at the beginning with a newborn and get some board books and photographs and things, and then they become more complex as the child grows.
Yes, the books are carefully selected by the committee within the Dollywood Foundation to get those age-appropriate books delivered to each household.
Great. Next, I want to just share some of the testimonials from parents as they Every year we do a survey asking all of our participating families to report back to us about how they're doing with their books in the home. And what we find is that many families will say that they've only been reading to their child, not even every day, but once they enroll in the program, they are reading at least once a day and oftentimes 2 and 3 and 4 times a day, because the children will pull those books off the shelf and that's what they prefer during playtime. So it's really amazing how it impacts the activities of the children. And here are some of the testimonials from the parents who are participating in our program, which is really inspiring. One parent says, my son has more variety of interests now. He loves reading books about children who look different than he does. Sometimes our books feature African American or Hispanic kids, and we talk about all the different types of families there are. Another parent says, we read at bedtime every night. My child also asks to read in the morning, before nap, and in the afternoons and evenings. Another parent says, my daughter is more interested in reading than ever. She likes checking the mailbox, always hoping there's a new book. She thinks Dolly Parton is a good friend of hers. Another one is, our son has a condition that causes developmental delays. Even if he doesn't understand the stories now, I like to believe that his understanding when we read together is that he will always have love and support to achieve anything in life, despite what his handicap may be. Another parent says, mi hija se concierta más en la lectura y le gusta mucho ver los dibujos y hace preguntas. Another Spanish-speaking parent says, ahora mi hijo habla mejor, tiene más vocabulario y tiene más imaginación. And the last testimonial I selected was, my daughter is more verbal now. She makes up her own stories as she turns the pages and is looking at the pictures. Sometimes related to the actual story, but other times she makes up her own story. So you really get a feel for the power of reading and imagination based on some of these testimonials. Next, I want to introduce our board member, Carol Johnson, who is also has been with United Way for many years as a supporter and board member. Carol, I just would love to have you introduce yourself and share with us your experience with the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And don't forget to unmute yourself. Unmute you, Carol.
I forgot to unmute.
Yep, that's okay. Just start over. Thanks, Carol.
I'm Carol Johnson, and I've been in Santa Fe a little over 40 years. I was transferred here by United States Public Health Service and really kind of had some assignments outside of Santa Fe, but I've been in Santa Fe pretty much since then. Married here, raised a son here who is now back here with a family of 4 boys. He actually is the chef at Kids Kitchen. His wife teaches 4th grade at Amy Beale, and he has 2 boys who will be going into 6th grade at Amy Beale. And his oldest son will be a freshman at New Mexico School of Arts. And then they have a little one who's just about 2. He'll be 2 at the end of the month. And he does participate in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And if you go to visit, and I have, because of the situation we're living in, haven't been able to visit them a lot, but if you go in, he welcomes you with a book and wants you to read it to him. And so he gets real excited. He knows that the books come in the mail, so he looks for the book, and he's not quite 2 yet. So it's been exciting, and books have always been important to me, an important part of my life, and I really think it's something that children need. And when it's their book, like Abby said, they're more connected to it, and they want to read it, they want to be read to them. So it's been a real exciting program.
That's so cute, Carol. I can just imagine him greeting you at the door with his book. So tell us more, Carol, about why you support United Way of Santa Fe County.
Well, when I finally retired in 2002, I decided that, okay, what am I going to focus on? And I've always been interested in children and education and school systems, and that we provide quality education to all our children. And we have families and parents who often or may not be able to advocate for their own children, either because of their own experiences and not being comfortable with the school system, or just not knowing how to navigate the system. So for several years, I monitored the Santa Fe Board of Education for both the NAACP and the League of Women Voters. And I was approached by United Way of Santa Fe County to join the board. And at the time, I was kind of reluctant because I kind of had too much on my plate. I got carried away when I retired that I thought I had a lot of time, but all of a sudden you get overwhelmed. So, and then eventually in 2013, I did join the board and have been thrilled about and honored and proud to be a member of the board, and the focus of the board on early childhood development, because if we don't raise our children and support our children, we don't have much to look forward to in this world. You know, they are truly our future. And, you know, United Way is committed that children will live up to their potential. And so I am thrilled to be a part of this board.
Oh, Carol, well, we're sure happy to have you working on our behalf. Thank you for that. So again, I just want to bring your attention to the low cost of running this program, $50 per child. We're asking donors to commit to a donation to support this program and perhaps expand this program. Jessica mentioned we have a wait list. We have kids that are anxiously awaiting a chance to get these books in the mail, and we're so thrilled to provide an opportunity for children and families in our community to have access to high quality books, books that stimulate the imagination, books that foster connection in their families. I've also heard great stories of older siblings reading to the younger children and parents reading more, parents increasing their own literacy with the consistent exposure to reading. And so there's so many benefits, and it really even ripples out from the child who receives the books. And then, like you saw in the video, those children then have that just library of books in their home, even past their 5th birthday, to continue to read. And once they start reading themselves, they have access to those great creative places to go to read and share that with their families. So thank you for your support. If you're a donor to United Way, we thank you so much for your support. If you're somebody who's new to our organization and interested and curious about what we're doing, please contact me, Abby Bordner, at United Way of Santa Fe County. I'd love to tell you more about what our programs are doing, how we're impacting families in our community. And the last thing I want to do is show you a short video. This is especially for you, our donors who are watching, and we appreciate your support.
Can you say it loud with me? Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you do for our children. Thank you for your donations and your time. Please keep helping out when you have time. This is our future right here, our future leaders. Yay! Gracias.
Gracias a la maestra por cuidar a mis hijas y enseñarle a mis hijos también.
You, our donors, are our lifeblood. We couldn't do this work without you. Thank you so very much from United Way of Santa Fe County.